25 of October 2023. This is another Warrafak moment. Sorry Neil de Beer, it is what it is. What the fuck is going on? South Africa is in shambles, and that is putting it mildly. This week we once again saw how corrupt the system really is with the appointment of this new public protector. This ANC has got zero integrity. They don't give a fuck for anything in the country, for anybody in the country, for any person in the country. And that goes for every politician. Every politician. That corrupt fucking EFF snatched up the dishonored public protector, and they brag about it. And they stand on stages draped in Palestinian garb and promoting the shit that Hamas is doing. They do not understand that the image that they are transmitting to the world is that they are in essence terrorists, they themselves. That goes for the ANC and the EFF. But there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be murva upset about what I'm saying now. This republic cannot continue. Look at the basics. Just the fucking basics. 11 official languages. That alone tells you this is not a country. It is a region. But no. We allowed politicians to take total control over everything, and then it landed into the fucking wrong hands. And this is what we are paying for. The black people, they are, and this is not all of them, there are a lot that are making themselves heard now. But those that are in charge are of an intellectual coefficient that is so fucking close to mentally retarded that you cannot even say it. The fact of the matter is, XXX has got total control over the whole political sphere. Everything. Every politician, they've got them in their grip. Now the DA with their shit-shot fucking moon-pack cuck and a lot of guys flocking after them. I've got news for those other parties. The DA is gonna fuck you. Be sure of that. If you cannot be sure of anything else, you are gonna get fucked. That's what's gonna happen to you. Because they are extensions of XXX. The EFF, name one single project that they brought up, pursued, followed through, and it ended up in providing jobs and benefits to the people. Just one. Name me one. All that fucking terrorist can do is standing there on the stages and whipping you up into a frenzy with bullshit. Shit that don't pay your rent. That don't pay for food. Now I see this ANC, that gingerhead minister of theirs, has come up with this brilliant plan of a universal income with money that will come from where the country is bankrupt. This ANC and their cadres has stolen basically everything. You sit and you listen and you see the municipalities is owed, the municipalities owes Eskom millions. They owe Rand Water millions. What you have to ask yourself is, where the fuck is that money? Because most of the people in those municipalities actually pays their rates and taxes. Where is that money? It's gone. Nobody knows where it is. Nobody wants to know where it is. But yet, there are idiots that think this country can be managed by mental retards. They think it. I've got a guy that I have discussions with. He thinks SABC Schlaudy is an intellectual giant. Fuck! And then he makes a statement. When I talk about education, he tells me YouTube is a good source for information. And I look at it and I think to myself, what the fuck is that? So they graduate from YouTube. Main subjects, memes and tweets. Fuck. And they want to run a country. They can't run a fucking draad car. But they want to run a country. Why? They've got the majority. The same guy makes a statement. The country's money is controlled by 8% white people. I say, okay. So the money supply is 100%. 8% of that is controlled by white people. The other 92% is controlled by black people. What the fuck? But he cannot see what he is actually saying. The reality is, this country must break up into tribal pieces. And tribal law must be applied by the tribal council. And somebody said, yeah, a lot of the tribal leaders are corrupt. And I said, yes, we know that. But the reality is that tribal justice is swift and clean. If there's a corrupt official, he gets hauled in front of the tribal council. If found guilty, he's done. No fucking 29 court cases and appeals and leave with full pay for 10 years and cut like that. Out immediately. Because the tribes understand that it is these corrupt officials that are fucking us all. So, and I'm angry today. You must excuse me for that. But that's the reality. We got fucked over with the pestilence in a big way. The evidence is coming out now. My question is, what's going to happen to the culprits? What? I know what would have happened to them 100 years ago. But today, they're going to stay where they are, in the same seats of government, and they're going to do it again. They're going to do it again. So, the people, the ordinary citizens, are actually fucked. Because there's not many people that are willing to stand up and say, stop this shit. We're not going to do this. Because the politicians sitting in those green seats, all of them are in the pockets of Triple X. And be angry and shout at me and swear at me, I don't give a fuck, man. Reality is that is what they are. All of them are corrupt. Now I see the ACDP also joined the fucking moonshot pack. What the hell? I thought they had sense. No, go into that fucking nest of thieves. But I'm an old guy, and I've seen how the country collapsed, and how it's turning into a typical African fuck-up. The railways is on its last legs. It's going to collapse. And the reality is, once the rails and harbour system is done, export is done for South Africa, we will see what is going to happen. Because if the tribes do not make a move and take what is rightfully theirs. This ANC cabal with their EFF cronies is planning to steal us blind and then fuck us up. And I have asked many times, what is the plan with this 25 million SASA youngsters? Uneducated, undisciplined, unskilled. What's the plan with them? They cannot contribute to the economy. They are in that class of useless eaters. My question is, what is Triple X going to do with them? We can see what they're doing with them there in Palestine. We can see what they're doing with them in Ukraine. We can see what they did to them in Yemen, what they did to them in Libya, what they did to them in Yugoslavia. We can see. But they cannot see it. So it's a horror story that's in front of us. The fact of the matter is, this republic cannot continue. It cannot. My biggest fear is that the central government structure is going to collapse overnight. That is going to lead to chaos that you cannot even begin to imagine. Because the criminal gangs is going to jump for territory. So, tribal leaders, you better wake up and see what is coming. Either you take your pieces now and have something for your people, or wait until the total collapse comes and only get ashes. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.